and welcome back to In the Slant. Today is October 7th, episode number 82. I am joined today with only Alex. We have no Jared or Dusto on the podcast. But before we go any further, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, Brady. How about you?
I'm down horrendous as far as football is concerned, which we'll get straight into that here in just a second. But make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. But yeah, I guess I should just go on my really quick tangent because, of course, we had a game on Thursday. My favorite team, the Commanders, played the Bears, the 0-4 Bears, and the Bears did not look like they were 0-4 whatsoever. I'm honestly over Ron Rivera. I think he needs to go. I think Jack Del Rio needs to go. It's just been him. It's literally been the Commanders' MO or football team or whatever they've been called since Ron Rivera's been the head coach. This team always starts slow every single game, it feels like. Well, like, never take care of business. I was not surprised at all when they came out in the second half, started playing better, because that's what they do every single time. They'll go down big, and then they'll start playing well enough that, like, oh my, if we just did this at the beginning, things would have looked a lot differently. Of course, the Bears win the game 40-20. Justin Fields, DJ Moore. If you had those two in fantasy, I know one person in our league has a stack of Fields and Moore, and obviously he probably already won the freaking matchup on Thursday. He also had Logan Thomas, so he had a great game as well. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, the only person that I don't blame for this loss is Sam Howell. He did have the bad interception, but I think Sam Howell is a great quarterback so far. I've liked what I've seen. Obviously, the Bills game wasn't great. But the only thing I do have a concern about is we're not getting the ball to McLaurin and Dotson enough, in my opinion. They're not getting enough targets. It's been a lot of dump it to Logan Thomas or Gibson or Brian Robinson out of the backfield, which is sometimes a smart decision, of course. But we need to find a way to get those two more involved, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm over it, man. I think Ron Rivera needs to be fired. 2-3. This should have been a game we should have won, and it should not have been an issue. Like, I get the Bears aren't like, I mean, the Bears, I'll give them their respect. Obviously, they just went the hell off on us. So what else am I to say? DJ Moore, 8 receptions, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. Absolutely insane. But yeah, man. As a Commanders fan, I'm over Ron Rivera. That's the main thing I gotta say up top. I was very, very upset watching this game. Defense played horrible from the jump. And it was just a bad game all around. But do you have any takeaways from this Thursday night matchup?
I don't have too much, Brady. I can barely even watch the game because I'm at work. But I did text him. I said Sam Howell has heart. There was a specific play where he scrambled, he pump faked, he broke the tackle, he tiptoed and stayed in bounds. And I just showed like he's actually out there wanting to win. I do agree that Ron Rivera is a big problem in Washington. As a Terry McLaurin fantasy owner and just as a Terry McLaurin fan, it's very upsetting to see your best wide receivers barely getting targeted. He had a couple there was one play, I don't know, I think there was 2 times, but one of the plays, Sam Howell threw it downfield to Terry McLaurin. He was able to adjust and get a flag thrown.
Yeah, for they lifted it.
Yeah, they did?
Well, one of the flags they lifted.
They lifted? Okay.
But then the next play, Terry McLaurin caught a deep pass.
Okay. So, man, as a DJ Moore fantasy owner, it's awesome for me, obviously, but no way in hell did I think the Commanders were going to come out and lose this game. I don't think a lot of people thought the Bears were going to end up winning this game. I know all 4 of us picked the Commanders.
Yeah, all 4 of us did. Into that.
I really want to see Brian Robinson get more in the mix. I know he's had some pretty good games, but it's just like nothing was clicking. Sam Howell seemed like Logan Thomas is his number 1 target right now, or Curtis Samuel. Sometimes it kind of works like that with the tight end quarterback connection. You know, it's a big body. You trust the big body more than you trust the smaller receivers. But that's my biggest takeaway. I mean, obviously, DJ Moore is showing why he can be one of the top and most elite receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, and another thing is I think that we set a record for consecutive passes thrown in a game or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, because we literally did not run the ball whatsoever in the second half. It was all Sam Howell throwing. He threw it 51 times in this game. When we're, kind of a, obviously favorite going into the game, which I think we were favored in this game, which is the sad part. But obviously the game got out of hand really, really quickly. Brian Robinson isn't going to be involved enough. And then one quick thing I will say, because Ron Rivera has control of our draft picks, and he's like a GM as well as the head coach. He has final say on the team. So far this season, first round pick, second round pick, both of them, not great at all.
Who's the second round pick?
Our second round pick was Jatavius Martin, a safety. Hasn't even seen the field at all.
Man.
Like, why are we wasting a second round pick on a safety when we have a terrible linebacker, we have a terrible offensive line, Ron Rivera is just so dumb. It just literally baffles my mind. And of course, we had Christian Gonzalez fall into our lap. And I was saying Gonzalez. I mean, you're a witness.
Yeah.
When we were on the clock and Gonzalez was on the board, I was like, take Gonzalez. And then we took Forbes. So I had to, sell myself on it. And so far, Forbes has been awful. He's been getting burnt every single play. They had to bench him on Thursday. Like, he has been now, obviously, it's early, so I'm not saying he's like a bust or anything, but he has been very bad, like very, very bad. And Gonzalez, on the other hand, although he's hurt, has been a lot better. So
no, Gonzalez has been looking like the most promising D-back that came out of this draft. I know we'll talk later about the Giants. Deontay Banks has been looking pretty decent for us, but man, Emmanuel Forbes, I mean, a little bit undersized in weight. At least, the 185 pounds, the nerves of being in the NFL, the nerves of being a ball hawk. Maybe his technique is just so shitty right now. I don't know, but this ain't college ball no more, obviously. Yep. So there's some very elite route runners. Yeah, but it just sucks that we're getting like little to no production out of our first 2-round picks because you obviously need that. I mean, I don't understand why we're taking a safety when our offensive line is abysmal, bro. And you just got a corner.
Yeah, and our our safeties are decent as well. Derek Forrest, Cameron Curl, so I don't get it.
I like Cameron Curl.
Whatever, it is what it is. Commanders lose. I may have given up on the season until Ron Rivera's fired. Man. We'll see. Ron Rivera's just been the definition of mid, man. We'll finish around 500 every year, but on to our predictions. So obviously, we all start the week 0-1 because we all did choose the Commanders. But unfortunately, obviously, the Commanders did not win, so we fall short to an 0-1 start. As you can tell, the standings right now, I am 5 games back from you, Alex, so you are in 3rd place right now, and I am down bad. So, we're all on the Buffalo Bills, so no change there. That's in London, so that should be a fun game. The Jaguars have been somewhat disappointing so far. The Bills have been clicking all cylinders as of late, so that should be a relatively interesting game to watch. The next game, we have the Falcons and the Texans.
We all got Texans,
yeah,
right?
All of us are on the Texans. CJ Stroud has been impressive. While the Falcons, I could actually see them winning this game because I'm pretty sure Houston's run defense is really, really bad, and obviously that's what the Falcons love to do. But on the other hand, I love what the Texans have done with Stroud, and Desmond Ridder last week did not look all that great. But I can see this going either way. Part of me almost wanted to pick the Falcons. I could have had an island here, but I decided against it, so that should be an interesting one. But before I go any further, if you had anything to say about those other 2 games, or those two?
No, Bills. I think Bills are just gonna go out there and light it up. I think the Texans are way more promising to win this game because CJ Stroud's been playing at a higher level, and honestly, D'Amico Ryan as the head coach, like I said, like a month or 2 ago, that I love the addition of D'Amico Ryan. I think it's a great fit. I think CJ Stroud going to Houston, it was a great fit. Honestly, I feel like low-key Carolina kind of fumbled potentially the better quarterback in the draft. But yeah, that's about all I got to say.
All right, next game is Panthers versus Lions. And
Lions don't win.
We're all on the Lions. They could be off to a really hot start this year. Obviously, they did have the disappointing games against the Seattle Seahawks, but ultimately they are 3-1 right now, looking to go 4-1. Amon-Ra St. Brown is doubtful for Sunday, which really sucks for me because my fantasy team is already kind of down bad with some bye weeks and some other stuff. And now I'm not going to have Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I get to play Dustin this week. So right now it looks like Dustin might full throttle me. I did start Sam Howell on Thursday, and he had a great game. Yeah. But I started the Commanders defense. They got me -1, and Dotson only 6 points. So I think Dustin's going to throttle me this week, unfortunately. So I'm going to fall to 2-3 probably, but I guess we shall see.
And we'll see if David Montgomery can stay on the course, because let me just tell you this real quick. I don't want to make this episode very long. Somebody in my league tried to trade me, Brady, for Cooper Kupp, right? He wanted to give me T. Higgins, Justin Tucker, and Montgomery. And I told him no.
You didn't do it, right?
I got Kenneth Walker, and I have Travis Etienne. So I was like, nah.
I remember you seeing that in the group chat, and I said, don't do it.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Cooper Kupp.
Just too valuable.
Yeah, man. He's literally back this week. So
and I have Puka
Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Should be fun to watch them together. We'll get into that in a second. But Colts versus Titans. Man, I have an island on this game. I chose
Brady
the Titans. Parks. I don't know why I chose the Titans. I just feel like the Titans' run defense is really good. That's part of the reason why. And Jonathan Taylor is back, so that's definitely an interesting story. He just got paid as well. So he got a 3-year deal.
Got paid.
Saquon and Josh Jacobs did not get a 3-year deal, so
1 year.
Pretty interesting there. But Taylor got his wishes, so that relationship looks to be mended there. But yeah, I think I ultimately am just looking for a dart throw here and hoping that I can get something on you guys. Basically,
I mean, at this point, it's either you match it and just stay behind, or you take a chance.
Yeah, and it's a divisional game. And obviously, we all what?
Sorry, I see Jared's on an island right now.
Yeah, Jared has a couple interesting islands.
That's right, Jared. Yeah, I'm gonna catch up now.
So yeah, I'm hoping that works out. And by the way, we do send our picks blindly. Like I don't look at their picks until I put mine in, and then they don't look at their own. So last year we like put it on the spot, but now this year everyone has to send theirs in privately. So like there's no like, oh, he chose them, so I'm choosing them. So I literally just picked the Titans Island. Without knowing that they were all going to pick the Colts.
I will say, I don't know who the Colts played a couple weeks back, but I picked the other team to win. I think it was the Texans, and I was like, they got fucking smacked. I'm like, everyone's like, why'd you pick the Texans? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm trusting the Colts, man.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. But next game is going to be the Dolphins Giants, your New York Giants, off to a pretty poor start so far. And they got to go to Miami, a probably upset Miami team that just lost to Buffalo. So how are you feeling about your chances going to this one?
No, you already know. We're not going to win this game. I mean, if somehow we win it, I mean, I don't know how we would win it. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, their backs. I mean, Chase Claypool's not really a threat to me, but who knows, dude? We're going to be so focused on freaking... He
can't even play because
it's too
technically
early.
He would have been active on Thursday for the Bears, but he got traded.
Okay. So we're not...
I don't think he can.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Be wrong. It wouldn't make sense if he could. We're not winning this football game. I mean, if we win it, good grace of God, thank you. But all I got to say is the Giants have a big problem in New York. Daniel Jones is definitely part of the problem. I can finally say that. Our O-line is definitely part of the problem. Our defense can't tackle worth a shit. Bobby Okereke was not the promising middle linebacker we picked up during the offseason that, I mean, I thought he was going to just be lights out for us. It's just bad, bro. It's just bad football all around. I really don't know like what direction this organization is going to take. I don't really think it's Dayball or Joe Sheen. I just think we have a lot of me guys on this team. And you know, I like Daniel Jones. I think he's a great guy. Like he's exactly what you want as a quarterback. Like his integrity, his character. He doesn't get in trouble. But we want people who win ball games. That's what I want. And then I don't like how mainstream social media like pushes agendas. Like they showed a clip of Dayball throwing his clipboard.
Oh yeah.
Dayball came back and said he was pissed, and Daniel Jones. They were both pissed for the same thing. Like it wasn't like he was mad at Daniel Jones and threw the clipboard.
Oh,
so
you know how the media is.
Yeah. The media loves pushing these agendas. But to everyone out there that knows I'm a Giants fan, I've played ball, and all I gotta say is I just own up to it. It's piss poor, bro. We're terrible. It sucks, but that's my team, and I'm going to stay loyal. As y'all can see, I have not changed this fucking background. I don't give a fuck. I will stand on my team, bro, because one day it's going to happen again. We're going to win another Super Bowl. Yep. I know eventually will happen, but Dolphins are definitely winning this ball game.
Yeah, they absolutely should. Next game is going to be the Patriots versus the Saints. Two teams that honestly look pretty bad right now for the most part. Derek Carr and the Saints have not looked all that great. And then the Patriots, on the other hand, have not.
He's on another island.
Jared is on an island in this one.
Yes, Jared, do it.
So we're all on the Patriots. Although I could say this because the game could go either way. It's in New England. I'm just trusting the fact that both defenses are pretty good. This feels like a very low-scoring game to me, in my opinion. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what to expect from this game. I just chose the home team here, and I'm assuming that Mac Jones or whoever they're starting Sunday. I don't even know, to be honest.
Dude.
I think it's Mac Jones, but. I assume the Patriots take care of this one. Although I could see it going either way, and Jared would get a nice little one on us if he did.
And then he'd be one more up, man.
Yep.
God.
Next is Ravens versus Steelers. We're all on the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers have not looked all that great on offense.
No.
We know how the situation is there right now with Matt Canada. Apparently, Matt Canada made a burner on Twitter to respond to all of his haters. Wow. Pretty funny. And he actually used his work email, I think, to use that Twitter. So, like,
that's an old head move.
Yeah,
shit.
I don't know if the Steelers have like addressed that. Like, I assume Mike Tomlin said there's going to be changes, which I don't know what those changes mean. If that means Jalen Warren gets 100% of the snaps, I'm all for it because I do need him on Thursday now that St. Brown is out, so I have to start him. But we'll see. I think Ravens, though, should win this one. It is a divisional game. Obviously, in these in-division games, anything is possible. They do head to Pittsburgh, and I'll never like technically count out the Steelers anymore. Like I've done it 2 years in a row, and they always found a way to finish 500.
Yeah.
So I won't count them out, but I am going to choose the Ravens here to win this one when they've been just a better team overall so far. But next one.
Wow, this one's
Bengals Cardinals. This is an interesting one because on one hand, you have the Bengals, who obviously we all know at their full potential is a Super Bowl contender, but they have not been playing like such.
No.
And then on the other hand, you have the Cardinals, who are nowhere near a Super Bowl contender, and all of us thought they were going to be the worst team in the NFL, and they're playing really well right now.
They're not, and honestly, they're not the worst team in the NFL.
They're not.
They have played. I mean, the Giants obviously came back and beat them, which was surprising. But they have played good teams all year, and they have put up numbers all year.
They beat the Cowboys. They were in the 49ers game last week, which I was kind of surprised by.
Me too.
Josh Dobbs has been really good. It's kind of surprising. The Cardinals have been the surprise team for me, although it's not leading to like them making the playoffs or anything. But like they're a team that they're not going to be easy to walk over at this point. So Jared has an island here with picking the Cardinals, and I understand. I understand this pick for Jared.
Me too.
I thought about it too, but I was like, at some point we have to think that the Bengals are going to be better, right?
Dude, at some point it's going to go back to the normal Bengals.
Joe
Burrow's going to throw for 300-some yards, and everyone on the offense is going to get a piece of the pie. Like, if it doesn't happen, dude, that's a very shameful Cincinnati team because their fans are going to be going ballistic.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. That's one of those games that it's like I said, it's just an interesting one going into it when you have one team that's been disappointing and one team that's been surprising. Something's got to give. Should be a fun one. Next game is going to be the Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. We are all on the Eagles. The Rams have been really surprising to me as well this year. They've been really good. They also get Cooper Kupp back this week, as we know. So Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp on the field at the same time should be an absolute blast, especially for fantasy owners. They're not sure what's going to happen with Puka now that Kupp is back. But we're all on the Eagles. The Eagles, to me, have not been like the most dominant team that I would expect them to be. Like, they've looked somewhat disappointing in my opinion, although they're undefeated still. My Commanders almost beat them in OT. Like, that was a very close game. Their defense has been thrashed. Like, it has not been all that great this year. So I could see the Rams putting up some numbers against the Eagles with Cooper Kupp and Nacua. So I think it's gonna be a closer game than we'd all expect, but we're all on the Eagles. And I could honestly, I almost chose the Rams because I was because of how bad the Eagles defense has been. I could see it. I could see the Eagles
take their first sell of the season to the LA Rams.
Yeah, they head to LA. Should be an interesting one. That's a game that should be a lot of fun. Points should be scored in that one. Jets Broncos.
Man,
I'm on an island.
You picked Broncos.
I chose Broncos.
I almost did too, but
it's in Denver, and Zach Wilson did have a great game on Sunday, but I don't trust it to translate.
I don't
trust it. I'm not willing to believe it yet. Broncos came back against the Bears, although it's the Bears. I can't really say anything. They just beat my Commanders. So, Broncos came back on the Bears, and I feel like they could maybe ride that momentum in this game at home, and I think they could welcome in the Jets and beat them. And I would love nothing more than to get this one. Although Breece Hall is no longer in a snap count, apparently. So that's going to be tough because, as we know, the Broncos defense has been atrocious as well.
And as a fantasy owner, I need this. I'm starting. I have a league where you can start like 4 backs, 2 receivers, or you can start 4 receivers, 2 backs, or you can start 4 backs, 1 receiver, 1 tight end. It's different. It's a different league, but I got Breece Hall, Madison, Bijan, and Swift all starting. And then I got JT on the bench.
Sheesh.
So we got some interesting scenarios. There.
If I can get this one in the Titans game this week, I'll feel pretty good.
You gonna start catching some ground.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we've picked opposite other than those 2 games, so I'm not even going to gain that much ground this week. Although, actually, the last one you made it different. You're on an island for the last one.
Packers,
Raiders.
I think they mentioned it. They're like, it's like you and I you pick the same teams every time. You guys are seeing each other in the list. Nah, me and Brady are typically on the same page with a lot of these picks, but we'll get down the line. I got my. Is it my first island?
No, it might be. No, you've had one before.
I did the Texas Colts island. I picked the Texans. Right.
Chiefs, Vikings. This should be a fun one as well, but we're all on the Chiefs. Chiefs almost lost to the New York Jets.
Dude.
They do have to head to Minnesota. I expect a better performance out of Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey. But I do think, and I think the Chiefs defense is actually really underrated. I think they've been really good this year. So I think Kirk and the Vikings, I could see them struggling against the Chiefs. I guess we shall see.
Yeah. I like Steve Spagnuolo a lot too.
Yeah, but I think this is a must-win for the Vikings because obviously they did get a win last week, but dropping to 1-4 would not be ideal if you're the Minnesota Vikings in a division where the Lions might be running away with it.
For sure. And it was funny because I think when we did our final prediction, I still picked Minnesota. I'm like, but
yeah.
Lions are the dark horse. Well, not really the dark horse. They're just actually a really good football team, but it's crazy that J. Jeff and Kirk Cousins are putting up big numbers, and they just can't win ball games right now.
Yeah, they can't. It's been interesting performance from the Vikings because they've been in close games but always fall short, it seems like. And then we have the Sunday night football game, Cowboys-Niners. I'm excited for this one because it feels like the Cowboys finally have to do something because they've been kind of coasting, I feel like, other than the Cardinals game where they were like caught off guard, in my opinion, where they, obviously were playing from behind in that one. But this game, they know they have to bring their A game.
They have to.
They have to.
Dak has to be on point the whole game.
Yes, exactly.
I know a lot of Cowboys fans. There's a lot of Cowboys fans in this world. I asked Dax Driscoll. I said, what is it going to take for the Cowboys to win? He said Dak cannot throw at least 2 picks. He thinks if Dak throws 2 interceptions, this San Francisco will just kind of run with it. And it makes sense, bro, because their offense is just too damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but yeah, this is a great Sunday night football game. The 49ers have obviously been clicking on all cylinders, and the Cowboys have been just kind of winning off their defensive performance for the most part. So I think this is going to be a fun one. I cannot wait for this game. This is a really good Sunday night football game. Last week's game on paper did not look all that great, but it was actually somewhat decent with Zach Wilson playing as well as he did. But I'm excited for this one. And then last game of the week, Monday Night Football. Packers head to Vegas to play the Raiders. Jimmy G is back off of concussion protocol, and we are all on the Packers while you are on the Raiders.
Surprisingly, right?
Yeah.
I think
Dustin is obviously already given up on the season. He hopes Josh McDaniels is fired as soon as possible. So
this is like one of those toss-up games. That's why I even said in the group chat, I was like, who y'all picking? Because golly. But I'm honestly okay with being on this island. I need ground. Jared's already on different pages with certain games this upcoming Sunday or tomorrow. I looked at scores. The Packers are 2-2. Raiders are 1-3. Raiders have not lost big. Packers, I think they have one big game where they lost big. I can't remember. But what I've noticed with both these teams is like slow starts, playing from behind, somehow can get back in the game. So I think whatever team can like get on top first would probably run with it. The fact that Jimmy G's back, I know Jimmy G's not lights out, but Jordan Love's played well. I will say that, but right now I just feel like this veteran core in the Raiders is gonna run with it. I really want to see Jimmy G just sling the ball around.
And not throw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, it's terrible. And then the Raiders defense has been playing a lot better. I mean, Max Crosby is just a freak of nature, bro. So I really think he's gonna just tear it up. I don't know what's gonna happen though. I mean, it's a toss up. I just really hope the Raiders win because I'm trying to catch up here, and it's been hard.
Yeah.
Only 2 games behind Jared.
I need to gain some ground this week, so I'm hoping things work out for me this week because obviously I'm in last place right now. We don't have a bet for the loser just yet, but right now it's looking like it would be me if it ended today. So we gotta get back into this one. And of course you have the Browns, Chargers, Seahawks, Bucks all on a bye this week. Which sucks because my best player, Justin Herbert, is on a bye because I needed him this week. Although Sam Howell, like I said, did pretty good for me for the most part.
Same. First half.
Yeah, first half not looking good.
0.7 in my sleeper league, dude.
Second half, just literally, like I said, they threw it every play.
So that's fine. Let them fucking sling the ball. That 2-point conversion was nice, too.
Yeah, that was a nice one. But I think that is going to do it unless you have anything else to add on this episode. Real quick preview and predictions. But we'll be back next week to talk about the games, and we'll see if I can somehow beat down bad and beat Dustin this week in fantasy. If I can beat Dustin this week in fantasy, you'll see a happy man on Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So
we're gonna be talking all this shit. Yeah, we run the league.
Yeah. So
hey, I will say my matchup against Jared is looking very scary. Most of the matchups I've had, the probability of me winning has always been lower.
Yeah, I lost you like last Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I basically lost on Thursday. I played Alex last week, and
my team was lighting it up. My team's been lighting it up.
Montgomery went off on Thursday, so I was like, yeah, I lost probably. And
but this week I got Keenan out on a bye. Elway, I'm starting Marvin Mims. You better call him up and say, hey, bitch, get with it right now.
Yeah. Should be a fun one. But thank you guys for watching. As always, we'll see you on the next one. This is In the Slant saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and click here to subscribe and, of course, to watch some more.